There's an epidemic of training intensity, a lack thereof. All right, this is a very simple concept. There's nothing nuanced that you're going to learn in this video. However, if you take seriously what I'm saying, and if you're willing to look at yourself in the mirror and analyze and assess your efforts, you will benefit from this message. Whenever I go into the gym, some gyms vary more than others. The most common thing that I see that people are missing in their fitness journey is A, that they're not in there. They didn't show up. They didn't stay consistent. They skipped their workout. Or B, they're in there and they're not training hard. You're pushing yourself with intensity. They don't break a sweat. You're never out of breath. You're sitting around on your phone, getting distracted. You're not pushing yourself hard enough. If you're going to the gym just to get healthier, move your body a little, exercise some, 2 thumbs up. All right. I totally respect that. We all have different goals. That's good enough. Getting in there and just pushing a little bit. You don't have to go too crazy, and being consistent with it is plenty good. And I salute thee. However, if you say that you want to add muscle, you want to add a significant amount of muscle, you want to get jacked, you want to build some muscles, then you need, if you own that and you say that's your goals, then you can't go into the gym and just meander through your workout. You can't feel comfortable the whole time. You can't feel rested, not sweating, not out of breath, muscles not burning, sitting on your phone, scrolling in between sets, okay? If you feel called out, it's because I want you to get better. And it's the most common thing I see is that people in the gym are not pushing hard enough. Again, I don't know what everybody's goals are, right? So if you're in there just to move, I love it. Whatever, it's fine. Everyone has their own goals. But again, if you are trying to build muscle, you need to push with some intensity. And what does that look like? Ask yourself, am I doing everything that I could when I go in there? Am I actually pushing my sets to failure or close? Am I timing my rests, or am I getting distracted on my phone? Do I ever break a sweat? Are my muscles sore the next day? There's a extreme correlation I've noticed with just looking at the way people train and their physique. And almost always, the people that have more muscular, more impressive physiques train with intensity. It's literally that simple. 80% of the whole fitness thing and gaining muscle is showing up consistently and pushing yourself hard, pushing your limits. The last 20% you can worry about once you've established those two things. It's literally that simple. On an industry that's built on all these fucking programs and supplements and all these quick fixes, it could, like, that's the literal truth of it. Worked as a personal trainer for years, in person, online. I've worked in many different gyms, different countries. And then I've been working on my own gains for over a decade. And I'm a very analytical, receptive, or observant person. And I would say this is the main thing that people are missing. And so if you feel like you're frustrated and you go to the gym, but you're not getting anywhere, you got to look in the mirror and ask yourself if you're actually pushing your sets with intensity. It's really that simple. I know this is not like a super intuitive, here's a little nugget for you to open up your mind type of video, but I wanted to make it because it's so important, but it's so simple. And yet I see so many people who are consistent and dedicated, but never push their limits, push their boundaries. And you got to be willing to get uncomfortable mentally and physically. You got to feel the pain. It's going to hurt sometimes. You're going to not want to push sometimes. You're going to have to. You're going to have to try a new exercise. You're going to have to try adding more sets. You have to try adding more weight. If you go in there and you do the exact same thing over and over and over again, you're not going to continue to see progress. Why are you even bothering? Again, this is if you're of the mind of, I really want to push myself to add more and more muscle. I'm trying to drastically change my physique. I think there's too much emphasis on like, what exercise do you do? Or like, should I take this supplement? Or what's your diet like? Just get in there and actually push yourself hard. Learn how to do good form, control the weight, do warm-up sets, so that you are limiting your risk of injury, and then maintaining as much control as you can, push those sets to failure, and actually fatigue yourself. And stay focused. Don't get your freaking phone out. Just put your phone away, focus for an hour, and you'll actually get something out of the efforts that you put in the gym. I know it's simple, I sound like a broken record, but that is the literal truth for probably 95% of people why you're not getting the results you want. It's not your genetics. It's not some other reason or excuse that you have. Yes, everyone's genetics are different, and that is going to affect the ceiling, the potential that you can get. But you can still improve a bunch even if you have bad genetics. All right. And what's holding you back more than your genetics is your unwillingness to push yourself with a lot of intensity and to really get uncomfortable and push your limits some. And that's really what it comes down to. If you're about it and you want to do it. And even steroids, even PEDs, that won't make up for your lack of intensity. You may get some results from it, but at the end of the day, if you don't push yourself hard and you're not willing to push your limits, then you're not really going to get anywhere. So that's just the reality. So I hope that helps you assess what you're doing and potentially get in there tomorrow and push your limits some. Let's go. Peace.